Hi, Wendy with Murdock Escorted Tours here with you today. Thank you for coming and watching our presentation that we've got for you today. We are super excited to have one of our amazing tour hosts, Tim Taggart, with us to talk to us about Morocco. Such an exotic country, and it's just one that people don't know a lot about. So I hope that you're as excited to see this presentation as I am. Tim, thank you so much for putting this together. I'm excited for your tour that you're going to do this year and for you to share a little bit. Would you mind doing a brief introduction of maybe yourself and your background? And then when you're ready, let's just jump right into the tour.
Sounds great. Hi, everyone. This is Tim Taggart. I've been doing tours now for 40 years. I started as a young seminary teacher.
Isn't it fun to say that out loud?
Well, it's fun other than the fact that it dates you. I'm getting really old. But I love travel and I love doing tours. My background is I started out teaching seminary and then went into the church office building in audiovisual to produce media for seminaries and institutes, and then spent my career in audiovisual for the church, producing media for the church and instructional materials and the technical aspects of media. And I had a marvelous career working with the brethren in the media of the church. Retired about 10 years ago, and I've done tours during vacation time, summers, all along that time. Since I retired, I've been doing a lot more of it. This is my retirement program to goof off, have fun, and teach while I'm retired. So,
well, and you are such a fantastic teacher, and I think that's one of the things that comes across. I've been lucky enough to travel with you several times, and I think the reason people continue to travel with you on a regular basis is because you are excited to teach and share, not just faith-based, but all destinations. Like you said, you have a love of travel. And it really comes across with your energy and excitement, and the fact that you are a self-proclaimed oversharer is always something that I think people really love, because you can study as much before the tour, after the tour as you want. You give everybody access to all of your materials.
Yeah, and for me, that's one of the fun parts is compiling material like that and sharing it. It's up to people, whatever they want to do to learn. But if they want to learn, there's plenty of stuff to learn from.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about Morocco. Yeah. I know one of the things that when we first started talking about this, it was pointed out that Morocco, really, the cities have the same feel as Jerusalem. Would you say that's accurate?
They have a similar Mid-Eastern flavor that's fun and exciting that way. Very different, but some real similarities. I had the opportunity a few years ago. I had a super cheap airfare to Casablanca with Delta, and I spent 10 days on my own in Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. And it was one of the great travel experiences ever. And that kind of set up this tour. And so I'm excited just to get back and to have this experience. So that, why don't I go ahead and kind of go through what this experience is?
Absolutely.
Morocco is September 3rd through the 13th of 2024. But we're going to do a pre-tour to Portugal. And I'll go through that quickly before. Just a few days to give you a real in-depth flavor of what Portugal is all about. So as you see down on the bottom, we have the opportunity of beginning our tour in the capital of Portugal. Lisbon is just a remarkable place, the castle up on the hill. So many beautiful buildings, so much history, culture, so much of the European center is in Portugal, Lisbon, the ancient trading, clear over to this continent, the discovery of America and everything else. but the history of Lisbon is just fabulous with art and architecture that to me is so interesting and a
Oh,
marvelous history.
no,
We
for sure. Well, I
here's
was just going to say real quick, you know, Portugal is a very hot destination this year. There's so much interest and request in it. What made you pair Portugal with Morocco? Was it just
I
the
had several
convenience?
people that wanted to do Morocco that said, boy, we'd sure love to do a little tour of Portugal
Portugal.
while we're over in Morocco.
Perfect. I
So
was
that's
just
what
wondering how
we
that came about.
yeah, yeah. And I had done Portugal again on my own just a while ago and kind of did the pre-tour for this, including the temple, got out to the beautiful temple. All of these are pictures that I've taken, by the way, most all of them. We're going to do a little day trip out of Lisbon, out to Sintra and Cascais, which is there just some fabulous castles out in the West Country towards the Mediterranean. Beautiful, beautiful. I
Wow.
mean, really sensational sights. The cliffs along the Mediterranean Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean rather, on the west coast of Portugal are just beautiful. This is the Cascais station with just incredible setting. Cabo de Roca. This is the westernmost point of Europe, extending out into the Atlantic. Then we do another day trip up to Abydos and Nazare. And this is, again, a beautiful location with a cool castle up on the hill, really fast, again, filled
Wow.
with history. And, you know, this architecture of medieval Europe is just fascinating. And go up to Nazare, which is right on the coast, beautiful beach, some surfing. This is one of the most famous surfing places in the
Wow.
world where they surf on 100-foot high waves. But just a beautiful community, a very different look with fishing and boats as kind of the thematic thing in the ocean. So you give me a feeling of the whole of Portugal in the few days that we spend there. And then we head down to Rabat in Morocco to begin our Morocco tour. Morocco is so fascinating. Notice you can see on this map Fez and Marrakech. The Atlas Mountains go on the back side of that and separate the desert that's on the east from the Mediterranean and Atlantic coast that's on the west. So really different kind of cultures. This kind of shows you that mountain range of mountains
Oh,
with the
yeah.
desert on the right and the green areas on the left. Morocco's very different than what you may expect it to be. So we fly into Rabat and have an experience to see this amazing walled city. Again, just fascinating history. It's such a different culture. It had a huge impact in Portugal and Spain as the invasion came up from Morocco and changed the culture there. But the beauty of these cities are just remarkable. And
Oh, the
we have
colors are fantastic.
yeah, it's a photographer's paradise, which is one of the fun reasons that I love to go. I love to take also a souvenir shopping paradise. These cushions that you see on the right, they're collapsed. You fill those, and they're cushions that you have around your living room, all made out of leather.
Oh, wow, like an ottoman.
Yeah, are the leather shoes so colorful? The colors, the designs
Oh,
are just fantastic. And we go from Rabat up to Chefchaouen, which is famous for being the city of blue. All of the blue, just amazing in this city. Again,
it looks
so
like
incredible.
Turkey.
Yeah, it's beautiful, colorful. Uh, it's uh, it's just a remarkable place. Again, with fabulous photographs, fascinating people, fascinating culture, and a lot of variety in the landforms and in the people. One wonderful people too. Just really awesome. Then we slip down to Fez, which is another fabulous, famous city in Morocco, most famous. Again, the color and the spice mark, and you'll see this is the famous leathering workshops where these are all huge vats of color where they dye the leather the different colors, and it's just amazing. It's famous all over the world, and Fez is just an amazing place. You see
Can you
the
buy
leather.
a Fez hat there?
What's that?
Can you buy a Fez hat?
You can actually. That's where they originate from, and the hotels we stay at are fabulous. The architecture is really interesting. The Moroccan architecture is beautiful, and of course the shopping, the bazaar, fabulous. Then we're going to drive down out into the desert and have a desert camping experience that is something that is really remarkable. Here's the area down in the Merzouga area where we have an outdoor camp that's kind of like glamping. I mean, it's pretty glamorous for a camp, but have a real experience in the desert. We get to ride camels as a part of our adventure, but staying in just fabulous accommodations.
Imagine that. That is incredible.
Yeah. Isn't that fabulous? And so we get to experience the fabulous desert. And then we go down to Zaz, which is an area that I was familiar with. We had initially proposed that we film the church Bible videos here because many of the Bible videos from all ages have been filmed in this area, as you'll see at some of the studios. So some of the remnants of the architecture here are really amazing. And you'll see that there's even studios out here in these cities. So this is Eight Ben Haddad, which is famous. I've seen this in 100 different biblical movies and historical movies. People don't really live here.
I was going to say, do people live there, or is it just a place you go?
It's kind of an abandoned city. People, tourists come here, and people have little souvenir shops, and that's about it. It's fascinating. You can see just how incredible it is. And these are some of the shops that exist as you walk through this amazing city. It's just fantastic. It's not like anything you've ever seen before. These are just doors for, say, one of the shops in the city. And I thought that was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen.
Well, look at the
buying
pattern.
a door that's 2,000 years old, handcrafted. It's pretty cool. And people, so interesting. Here's a snake charmer with a lizard on his head and a snake that he's getting ready to kiss. But this is a fabulous place. This is Kasbah Lake Tifel, another site that's often you'll see in movies, but just remarkable. Here's one of the studios there, and they do a lot of Egyptian movies.
I was going to say that definitely looked like Egypt.
Yeah. So here's some of the movies that have been presented here: the Bible, Gladiator, Cleopatra. Here's a list of some of those movies. It's pretty fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of films that are done here, but you can see the sets, the Egyptian sets that are here. And then we drive from there back over through the Atlas Mountains, which is one of the most fabulous drives I've ever had, back over to Marrakech. With the people in this area, it's just fabulous. Again, a culture and an architecture that you've not seen anywhere else in the world. And just fast, beautiful country, fascinating people. And then we get over to Marrakech, which is one of the great bucket list destinations in the world. It's so fascinating. There are beautiful hotels there, but there's also a lot of antiquity. This is the Koutoubia Mosque. It's kind of a center. And again, the leather trade, the leather dye. This is at the tannery, the Berber tannery there in Marrakech. You can see them dyeing the leather blue colors, the same sort of idea that we saw in Fez. These are some of those cushions we were talking about, like throw pillows, only that you stuff them and bring them home. Those are all hand sewn leather decorations and shoes. Look at the color. I just love that. So fun. And then the Marrakech market is so fast with dried fruits and vegetables of every kind. Fascinating people. And this is the famous dish they cook in on the fire and take that top off, and the stew they have is just famous. Best wonderful people, so fascinating, so friendly, and I just love Morocco. But from Marrakech, then we head back up to Casablanca. That's more the business center of Marrakech. That's a beautiful city. The Hassan II Mosque is one of the most beautiful buildings I've ever seen on earth. Again, wonderful people. I'm friends with some of these kids still on Facebook, and just wonderful. But look at the decoration in the mosque. This mosque is just amazing.
And these are just like the type of pictures you imagine Morocco looks like.
Yeah, and it's breathtaking. It's hard to get to take it all in. It's so overwhelming. All hand-done woodwork. Just amazing.
So Morocco is a Muslim country,
Uh-huh.
but you felt very comfortable. They were very friendly and welcoming to the tourist, and they wanted you to come in and see their beautiful mosques. And
Oh, absolutely. Open, friendly, so inviting. And it's just spectacular. And it's a real neat feeling in here, too. There's a feeling of reverence and of awe. It's a real great experience. So Casablanca also has a vibrant old center of the city, Medina, that is really remarkable. Wonderful people. I made friends with him and his family. Still friends with some of these guys. The butcher, the kids are now taking over the bakery, and the butchery, and dad's retired. But the fishmonger, fascinating people, fascinating places. These are the tea cellars. But these are experiences that you'll never forget. You definitely don't look around and say, it looks just like I'm in Salt Lake City.
Or any other destination.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
to say that I felt like I was in Jerusalem or, there's, like you said, small similarities, but it
Yeah.
has its own personality.
Yes, and it's so rich culturally. Fabulous. Well, we wrap up Casablanca with the fabulous people, great food, by the way.
I was going to ask, you've shown quite a few pictures of the food. What can people expect to eat, like types of food on this for what's a normal diet?
Usually not the snails they're serving here. It's a Middle Eastern diet. The food is fabulous. And I've never had anybody complain about the food here. It's fabulous. The grilled meats are wonderful, and the
is
food
it
is really
spicy?
excellent. What's that?
Is it spicy? I mean, do they like hot temperatured spice?
Well, not like a lot of places I've been. It's not as spicy from my experience. I think you can get spicy, but you'd have to request it. It's not that spicy, I think, compared to some other places.
And you can
I'm
obviously
not a big spicy fan. I didn't notice a problem. Their normal dishes are not terribly spicy. I thought they were wonderful. So this is the tour. You basically get to see the whole of Morocco and get a real flavor of things. And with wonderful people, architecture, things to buy, it's just a marvelous experience.
So, Tim, one of the things that you mentioned on this is that the first time you went by yourself and you just went and explored. We've been talking an awful lot about the benefits of traveling with a group, and especially to an unknown country, that you may not know the area or the language, and different things like that. What would you say, having done this independently, that you think is the biggest benefit of doing this type of a trip with a group?
Well, there's a huge benefit, and the benefit is you don't have to worry about where you're going to go to eat, how you're going to find food, how long is it going to take, how are we going to get there, how are we going to navigate, what are we going to find when we get there? Is there
Do they have Uber?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, it's not just a lazy way to travel. It's the best way to travel, especially on a first trip. The benefit of the group is you also learn so much. You have the guide who can answer questions. So as questions come up about culture, history, education, the people today, politics, they can answer it all. And so your questions get answered in a real integrated way as they come up. So it becomes so interesting, and you can relax at the same time you're seeing so many different things. The other aspect is it's cheaper. It's far cheaper to travel in a group than you could ever do on your own. You get discounts on the hotel, the tours, the transportation, on the food, on everything. You could never do it for the same price when you did it on your own. Unless you're staying in really crummy places, you could never do it for the same price.
Yeah,
It's better. It's better in every way.
Places that you wouldn't want to be alone at, not knowing anything or anybody. So no, I think you did a wonderful job summing up the benefits. And I like that you pointed out about the specific guides that we have, because obviously your experience and research you've done, but then just having that guide with us who has got, this is their life, their culture, their history, and they can tell it in such a way that it really makes you appreciate it. Also, Morocco, for the length and the inclusions of this tour, I was really surprised at the cost, that it is a very affordable place to go for Americans. The US dollar, it does go a long way there, it seems.
Yeah, it really does. It makes it affordable. This is an exotic adventure that you can feel completely safe with. And you'll be amazed at how many connections there are in your life that you had no idea about.
What about, oh, sorry.
No,
I was just going to ask you about like mobility issues. It's like, is there a lot of walking on this tour, or
it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be as intense as, for instance, Israel is quite extensive, but there will be some walking tours of the various cities. So it is the kind of thing that you'll want to, be able to walk for a couple of miles a day when you're doing a walking tour of the city center. But it's not the intensive walking that you might get, for instance, like walking all over Jerusalem.
Right.
Doing a 7-mile day, it wouldn't be anything quite that intensive.
We would never do that to anybody. Sometimes it's just what's required to see it all. Yeah. Tell me about the temperature in September.
It's beautiful. It'll be warm during the day in the mountains. It'll be a little cooler. Down on the coast, you have Mediterranean breezes coming off. So you may get a little bit of cooler temperature in the evening. So a light jacket or something, but it's going to be a fabulous time of year to go. Just perfect.
Oh, well, I know. I feel like I'm ready to go. Would you take families, if kids wanted to go, would you feel comfortable bringing your grandchildren?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. This is a place that'll be so fabulous to bring kids and give them an exposure to another culture that's completely and radically different, but completely safe. but so interesting. This would be a
What an
wonderful place to
education
bring
for them
kids.
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great. I think I've just learned and appreciated a lot more about Morocco than I knew before. So I'm excited for your group to get to go and have this experience with you, and again take advantage of a great price at a great time, and just expanding your appreciation of the world and just these whole different cultures and people and smells and taste, and that's what's so great about travel. So I
Exactly.
I think that's why we do it. It makes us appreciate sometimes what we have, what we don't have. We learn so much, but it really does open our hearts. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you. Thank you again. Anything you want to end on, or did we pretty much hit everything?
I think I pretty much hit everything. This is a great, wonderful adventure that will make you richer by going.
You know, the other, and I'll just end on this note. One of the things that I really like about this tour, Tim, is it is a small group. This is not going to be a large 40, 50 person tour. 20 to 30 is pretty much your ideal size. And that's just going to make it that much more of an in-depth opportunity to do as much as you can in the time that you're going to be there. I hope you'll
Yeah.
consider taking this tour. I hope you'll consider adding Portugal as well. Again, a very hot destination right now. And just a fantastic experience with a great guide. So thank you so much for watching this, and please call the office if you have any questions. We'd love to have you travel with us. Thank you so much. Have a great day, Tim. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, everyone.